Thanks, Paul. How's everybody going? Hope everyone's going well, enjoying our fun lockdown times here in Melbourne. So today we're going to be making some super awesome bath bombs, and the goal for today is we're going to try and put Lush out of business because these bath bombs are going to be that good that you're going to never have to buy one again. So I'm joined here with Sam the cameraman, and we are going to get stuck into it. I'll get him to come down here and show you the ingredients. So we've got a few different things we're going to be using today. So you don't have to make it along at home right now. You can go and make it later and watch me make it for today. All the ingredients and instructions will be sent out after the event, and they should have been in the email that went out to you today, all the ingredients required. So we've got some bicarb soda or baking soda, some corn flour. Corn flour is very, very important because this makes the bath bomb stick together. Without the corn flour, it will just fall apart. It'll just be a big, sticky, smelly, delicious mess of fizzy powder. We've also got some Epsom salts, some magnesium sulfate. So this one here, I've got some Radox ones. This one's already got some nice essential oils infused into it. I'll give you guys a smell of that one there. You can smell the delicious peppermint aromas. And we've also got some citric acid. So this is probably going to be one that you're going to have to buy from the supermarket, but you can get it in the supermarket. It's sort of around where you get food coloring and all the baking things. So it's pretty easy to find. It's only about $2. Other than that, food coloring, this is optional, as is essential oil. So the essential oil is what's going to make it smell nice. But even with just the bicarb, the citric acid, and the Epsom salts, you're going to have a fantastically relaxing sensation because the Epsom salts are very good for muscles and relaxation. Very good after a gym sesh or going and having a game of soccer or footy. So we got our food coloring. I've selected pink. So I'm going to make this one for my mum, and she likes pink. So that's why I'm going to make it pink. And we've also got some oil. So you can use pretty much any oil. Coconut oil is the best one. Olive oil is probably second best. Other than that, we're going to need some water. So I've got just a little bit of warm water in this cup. We're going to need a bowl, plate to put our finished product, some measuring spoons. You need measuring cups as well, but I've pre-measured out all of these ones here. So all our powders and chemicals are all pre-measured out for me today, just to make it a little bit easier so I don't make a mess like I did last week. And then we just need something to mold it in. So I've just got this little like half bowl thing. So we're just gonna put it all into there and make it like a little sand castle. So we'll have this nice sort of disc-shaped bath bomb. And other than that, we are pretty much good to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our dry ingredients. We're going to leave out the citric acid. So there's a little bit of a trick to this. The citric acid has to go in after our liquids, but the rest of it we can put in together. So I'm going to start off by putting in our bicarb soda. I'm going to pour that in there nicely. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure there's no lumps, get it all nice and smooth. So bicarb soda done. The next one I'm going to put in is our corn flour. So as I said before, the corn flour is super important for helping the bath bomb bind together. So if you've ever made a Newtonian slime, you'll use corn flour and water. So Newtonian slime is it feels very weird. So you push on it hard and it goes hard, push on it soft, it's soft. So corn flour has a very weird sort of feeling to it. So when you're running your hands through it, it's going to feel a bit odd. Give that a little bit of a mix around. So today we're going to be getting our hands a little bit dirty in the kitchen, but don't worry, this stuff is all good for you and washes off easily. So the next one I'm going to do, I've got our salts, our Epsom salts. I'm going to pop them in there as well. Give them a nice shake out of there. So we're going to get as many of those in because this one here's got all our nice peppermint scent in it, and it's very good for you. So that's I'd probably say that's the active ingredient for relaxation. where the corn flour is the key ingredient for the binding, and the bicarb and the citric acid is what makes our super awesome fizzing happen. So I might put this guy over here. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to get all of our wet ingredients. So I'm going to get a little cup out. So you probably got some nice bowls and things at home. I'm just using some coffee cups for today just because we had them sitting around here at the Box Hill Library. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get 1 tablespoon of oil, so 1 teaspoon of oil, and pop it into our new cup. So I've bought a brand new olive oil for today's proceedings. So I'm just going to get that open. I'm going to put our nice teaspoon, in there. Make sure we get it all out. Yo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, just so with the ingredients, first of all, we'll start with 1 cup of bicarb soda.
Yep.
And half a cup of citric acid.
Yep, so we don't...
So I know you're excited. You're so excited, Alex.
I'm just so excited. I just love bath bombs so much and baths. I should probably slow down. So, as Paul said, we've got our bicarb soda, our corn flour, and our Epsom salts, our magnesium sulfate. So they're the first ones that we need to stick in. So I've already popped those ones in, as you saw before. There should be some quantities in the email of how much we've put in. I've halved the ingredients for this demonstration, but because you didn't see me measuring them out, it's probably not going to matter too much. Our citric acid is over on the side, so this doesn't go in until after these wet ingredients. So at the moment, I'm putting all our wet ingredients into a cup, and then I'm going to mix them in to our dry solution. So now we've got our olive oil in. The next thing I'm going to do is put in some water. So I'm going to grab a half tablespoon. What's that? Half tablespoon. And I've got some warm water that I prepared earlier. I cooked this myself fresh this morning, and I'm going to pop that into our cup. Actually, it doesn't really need to go in there. And then the final thing I'm going to put in this is some food coloring. So I'm going to put only a couple of drops into our wet solution. Just open this first. So as I said, this is a nice shade of pink. It's my mum's favorite color. I think it might be Paul's favorite color as well, from what I recall. Paul, was that your favorite color, pink? Or was it red?
I think you're right. You know me too well.
Ah, yes. Maybe I'll have to send one up to you as well. So you can see in there, that's it's actually probably closer to a red, to be honest. So I've given that a little bit of a stir in there. I'm just sort of shaking it around. If you've got like lavender oil or peppermint oil, you can put that in there as well. So you give it.
Water, Alex? We've got a question. How much water?
So I've put in half a tablespoon of water. If you're doing the full amount, so if you're doing a cup of bicarb soda, then put a full tablespoon. It doesn't matter too much, as long as you've got some liquid in there. If anything, I probably put a little bit too less in there, so it's a little bit thick. I might actually even put a tiny little bit more in there, just to thin it out a little bit. So if you have a look in there, it looks a little bit more like a lava lamp. Cool. So we've got our nice watery solution. So the next thing is, now that it's given a bit of a shake up, if you've got a jar or something, what you can do is you can put this all into a jar, put the lid on, and then just give it a good shake. That'll make it mix really, really well. But for this here, I'm just doing a little bit of a swirl in the cup. So the swirl should work fine. And then I'm just going to try and evenly pour it into our dry solution. So now it's all in there, mostly all in there. I'm going to go grab our citric acid. I've already pre-measured the citric acid out. So as I said before, all the list of required ingredients will be in the email that you got with the Zoom link. So if you need to check any of the quantities, just jump into that email and have it all in there for you. Or even maybe
add it into the chat, Alex. Added the ingredients.
I was just about to ask if you could pop them in the chat, make it easier for people. So now I'm just going to pour that in as well. Do a nice even coating, you're going to start to see a little bit of fizzing where the liquid is, but that's normal. It's because the citric acid, when it hits the water, it does tend to fizz up a bit. So what happens, the bicarb soda actually helps with slowing that down. So now we're going to mix this up. So this will take a little while. So we've got to sort of massage it all out, and we're going to get all of that color nicely distributed into all of our powders. So it will take a little while, and you're going to start to smell some nice bath salty, pepperminty, lavender, whatever you've put in there goodness. So if you have a bit of a look, it's going to start to take the color. So what I might do is, if you follow me up a little bit, Sam cameraman, we'll put it into the light. So we've got a light up there that you can probably see that it's quite pink now. So we'll keep massaging it through. Unfortunately, we have some really, really cool lighting in here, but we've shot ourselves in the foot with the coloring, so it makes it look a bit blue and purple and stuff like that. So, which is fine. We can, you can enjoy a nice bath. You could put some lights on. If I had some of these at home, it'd be fantastic. Very relaxing. I think feel like it's some sort of disco party. Cool. So now you have a look. Our powder's nice and starting to look a little bit more bath bomb-esque. I'm actually going to, so the quantity of the food coloring, that's not really much of a science. That's completely down to you. If you want to make a really dark pink or blue or purple or red bath bomb, just put some extra in there. Or if you just want it to be like light like this one here, we can only put a little bit. I found out yesterday when I was making mine at home that when you put some drops into the dry mixture after you've mixed it, you get some little cool specks. So I'm going to grab some more of this. I'm going to put a couple of drops of pink through it, and we should get some, well, it's a bit too much. We should get some cool little specks of reddy pink in there. It's not even coming out. There we go. So we'll do that. I'm going to do that. It's going to make it look really cool. You can see some fizzing going on there with interacting with the salts. So that's a good sign. Cool. So there's a few little specks of more red than others. You can sort of see it sort of seems to like color and bind onto the magnesium salts really well. So you end up with these little like colored red flakes in there. Cool. All right, so I think we've mixed that up quite enough. So the next thing we're going to move on to is we need to mold our bath bomb. So it's all well and good to have a big tray of bath goodness. However, we want to be able to put it on the shelf in the bathroom, make it look all pretty, and then we're going to save it for later. I'm going to grab this. So this is just a little magnetic-y stainless steel tray that I got down the shops. I'm literally going to make it like a sandcastle. So what we need to do is we need to grab heaps and heaps of our bath bomb solution, pop it in, and we're going to start patting it down. But we need to make it really packed, really firmly in there. So,
nice.
Yo.
So it's meant to be dry there?
So it's in this tub, in this container, it'll have a little bit of a moistness to it. But the moistness is just sort of to help shape it and to help it bind together. So it won't be like wet. It's still quite powdery, but it's got like just like a very subtle moistness to it. Think like kind of like sand. Sand tends to be quite dry for the most part, but when you start getting a little bit further down, you dig down and you get that sort of like slightly moist sand. It's kind of like that, and so it's so I don't know if that answers a question for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's meant to be dry. So
it's meant to be mostly dry. So it's got a little bit of like I can feel that it's slightly damp, and that when you pat down on it, it's kind of like when you pat down on like that slightly damp sand. When you dig a hole at the beach and you get that sand just underneath, it's got like a little bit of dampness to it, and you can pat that down and make smooth surfaces, but it's not wet. It's just like that. So I'm I've pat that down nice and firm. So we need to put some real muscle into it. So the harder we pat it down, the more compressed the bath salts and stuff are going to be in the mold, and the less likely it's going to be to fall apart. So I'm going to give it a good push down.
Alex, so the citric acid, so have you added that now?
So the citric acid, yeah, as I said before, when we put the wet ingredients in, we add in the citric acid afterwards. So I put all the dry ingredients, all the corn flour, bicarb, and our salts, Epsom salts. Then I mixed up all our wet ingredients, so our oil, our food coloring, a little bit of water, and what was the other one? Oil, food coloring, water, and you can put some essential oils in there. So if you've got any nice essential oils, any of the ones that you put in like a diffuser or anything like that, pop them in because they will smell excellent. Then I put that in, so I stirred that into our solution, gave it a little bit of a mix, and then popped in our citric acid. When you put the citric acid in with the water stuff, it will bubble a little bit, but it won't be too bad. So it'll still be usable, it's not going to use up all the citric acid. And then I gave it a good stir and got all the color distributed evenly through the solution, as well as making sure that all of our dry ingredients are distributed evenly. And once they were, it took about a minute of mixing, we were good to go, and then we could start molding. So then I grabbed our little metal mold thing that I got from Daso, and I started packing in all of our dry solution ingredients. So you need to try and pack it in as hard as you can, because if it's not in there nice and firmly, it's going to fall apart. And this one here, I still need to get it even firmer. You can use anything to make the mold. You can use an ice cube tray. One at home that I did, I used a lid of a milk carton. So one of the round lids, I made little ones. What else could you use? Pretty much anything. Anything that you can sort of do this sort of thing in. You could use a very small glass. If anyone's got any very small glass, maybe mum or dad has a small glass around that you could use to make a nice bath bomb for them. But yeah, pretty much anything that you can get that into. So normally what we'd do is we'd leave this to dry for a little while. But today I'm feeling a little bit ambitious. I'm going to try and get it out of the mold. So because of the wet ingredients that we put into our solution, we let it sit for a while, and the water and everything sort of evaporates out of it, and it just leaves a more sort of like a harder bath bomb, kind of like that. So think of like a fizzy sherbety sort of lolly, kind of like that. But I'm going to see if we can get this out today, just so we can do a bit of a demonstration. The answer is no on that, because it just fell apart. So I'm going to see if I can pack this up a little bit tighter. You can also buy online on eBay and Amazon and all those sort of places. You can actually buy a mold for making bath bombs. So that's where I did this one here. So you get a 2-piece mold. So it's like a half moon sort of shape on one side, and then it's got like a little bit at the bottom on the other side. So it's 2 halves. You pack it all in, you pack it all in, you pack it into the other half, and you pop it together, and it sort of holds it all. And then when it's dry, you pull it out, and then you've got a amazing, very professional bath bomb. Looks like it's bought, I think. I think I'm pretty impressed with the quality of that one there showed out. So we'll try that again, but I don't have massive faith in this not falling apart. Not bad. So if you have a look here, if we had dried this out, it wouldn't have cracked. But you can see that it's taken shape quite well to the bowl that I put it in. So maybe what we could do is, I might just pop that down. Maybe I'll grab, if I can grab a little piece of this and see if we can put it into. So we have a bath that we prepared earlier, and by bath I mean the kitchen sink up here in the Box Hill Library. I'm going to take my home bath bomb with us as well, and we're going to go over to the sink that the water has all leaked out of. And we're going to pop some water in the sink, and then we are going to test out our 2 homemade bath bombs. So if you have a look at them two there, look pretty similar. This one I prepared earlier at home. This one here I prepared here. It did fall apart. So we're going to just get some water running into that there. So now we've got a bit of water in the bottom, and I think it's time that we tested it out. What do you reckon? Sounds good? All right. So we'll get a nice close-up of the bath. So we're going to pop our homemade bath bomb in, and you can see that it is fizzing up quite nicely. And you can see that it actually lasts quite a while. So I'm definitely getting some nice aromas of peppermint. Sam, cameraman, can you smell that?
Smells good.
Smells good. I think Sam's going to be taking one of these home to Mrs. Sam, the cameraman, camera lady. Cool. So anyway, so now we've got our bath bombs nice and made. I'm going to pop this back into our tray because I'm going to give it another go at recreating our bath bomb. But I would love to see some of the ones you guys made at home. Probably don't take photos of them in the bath, but we'll be very, very happy to see them as you've made them pre-fizz. Or if you've got, if you want to test them out in the sink and take some videos of it, send them through to us. We'd love to see them. We really do enjoy seeing it when people make any of the things that we demo at home. So if anyone has any questions, it'd be great to hear from people. Anyone? Sorry.
Yeah, I've got a question, Alex.
Yeah.
Can you explain again how to make the ball from 2 separate molds?
Okay. So when you to make them like this, you'll buy a bath bomb mold online. So you can get it on eBay. I got a bath bomb mold off eBay and it's still shipping. So me being the resourceful guy I am, I actually 3D printed one. So what happens is you get your bath bomb mold and it's 2 halves. So it's half a sphere and half a sphere. This one here had like a little thing on the bottom so you could put it and it doesn't roll away. You pack the side, one side up. So you pack it full, nice. You put it all in there, all nice, tight, pat it down. Then you go get your other half. So you get the other half of the sphere. You pack that all nice and stuff like that. And the one that I got that had the that I 3D printed had a bit of a clip, so it clipped together. So you pop it down, you squeeze them together, and it's really, really hard. So you need to make sure that it's really, really tight inside there. Otherwise, the bath bomb is not going to set properly. So squeeze it in, you put it together, and then just leave it overnight. At least. You can use it within a couple of hours, but I recommend doing it overnight and then having your bath the following evening. So, yeah.
That's great, Alex. I've seen them, Alex, with dried flower petals.
You can add anything into this you want. So essentially, as long as these main ingredients are here, you can start adding things into there. If you've got some glitter, you can put some glitter in there. You could have a nice glittery bath bomb. You could put some flower petals in there. You could even do it. Maybe you could even do it as if you put some flower petals right in the middle, pack it all down, put it in there, give it to mum. She'll have a bath bomb. It'll fizz and fizz and fizz, and then right at the end, boom, you've got all these petals flying out everywhere. And I think that would be quite relaxing and a nice surprise for mum or dad, because we all like a little bit of me time.
Alex, I remember my kids having them with a toy in the middle. So once the fizzy finishes, as a surprise toy.
Oh, so it's like a bath Kinder Surprise.
Yes, or you get the toys that actually grow with water.
I remember those. I remember there was a Simpsons episode about that where I think Bart gets one of a dinosaur and he has this idea that he's going to throw it out and scare Lisa and it's going to dry into this giant thing. It just sort of fizzled into this tiny little thing. But anyway, complete tangent there. Yeah, as I said, like we'd definitely like to see some ones that are made at home. We've got the Zoom window here open that I'm looking at. Can see a few guys at home making them. I can see Zoe giving us a wave. So I can see a few people making them. I'd love to see some of the ones that you guys have made. So I can see. Oh yeah. So are you guys? It looks like you're using is that a muffin tin? So that's a good idea. It's an ice cube tray. Ice cube tray is a good one.
Yeah, we used a muffin tin.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You're gonna have some nice bath bombs for that one there. So this.
We've got the bath running already.
Oh, do you? Are you gonna let it? You need to let it set for a while. Though you can always put it in there. So even if you were to put a handful of this in there, it'll still fizz. It'll still be an awesome bath.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
have you got some nice oils to go in there as well?
I couldn't get oils, but Isla's now putting in some flowers.
Oh, that'd be nice. Very, very nice. I'll leave some for you here.
Okay.
I'll leave you a bath bomb. Awesome. I can see some more. So we got some star ones down there as well. Oh wow, we've got lots of people playing along at home. So fantastic. That's what we like to see. So I can see some there. So I got two like orangey ones. I like the t-shirt, the jumper, chill vibes. Absolutely. This is what we like to see. Some good chill vibes with our bath bombs. That's good. Awesome. I see some more. Oh, we got a blue one, a red one, a green one, and an orange one as well. Wow, you guys must have a lot of food coloring. Fantastic. Fantastic. Awesome. Would be, as I said, would love to see some of the ones that you guys have made once you've finished them. You can always send them through via email to makerspace@wml.vic.gov.au. You can even send them through the Nunawading Library or the Box Hill Library, and they'll pass them on to us as well. You can also post them up on our social media, on our Facebook page, and maybe we can even share some of the nice photos and stuff of some of the bath bombs that have been made. Love to hear about some of the scents that some of our bath bombs are having. So this one here is a peppermint one. This one here is hang on, what did I put in this one? It's like orange. Yeah, it was orange extract and something else. I can't remember what, but apparently that's really good for relaxation. So is peppermint, so is lavender. It's all good for relaxation, especially when coming to baths. So,
Thanks, Alex. That's awesome.
no worries.
What I'm loving is the creativity up there. I can see everyone is different. They've got these different molds, different colours, different oils.
Lots of different shapes, isn't there? I saw some star ones, we saw some muffin ones, we saw some cube ones. Just make sure that you let them set. If you don't let them set, they might fall apart like they did with the first one. So I'm going to leave this one here overnight, and I might run a bath tomorrow evening when I get home from work, and I'll have a nice pepperminty relaxing bath bomb ready to go. So that's the main thing, is to try and, because they might fall apart. The other thing as well is these need to really be pushed down. I'm not joking. You really stuff it in there as hard as you can until it feels like concrete.
That's great.
Yeah.
How long do you set it for?
So I let the one that I made, this one here, so this one's been a couple of days, so it's gone super duper hard. All the water and whatnot has evaporated out of this one here, so it's very hard. So you can knock it on wood and it won't fall apart. Whereas this one here, this one's only very new. I'm gonna let this one sit for 24 hours, but if you let it sit for 24 hours, 48 hours, it'll definitely dry out a lot more. So a minimum of 24 hours. But you can try it if you want earlier. As I said, it'll still fizz if you were to go put this in the bath tonight. So if I was to go pop that in the sink that would fizz, and it would be an extraordinary sensation of a relaxation. But to have a nice one like this takes a little bit longer.
Thanks, Alex.
No worries.
I've also seen different colours put together when you put it in the water. It creates this rainbow swirl that looks amazing.
Absolutely. So what you can do is when you've got your dry stuff, you can mix all your dry stuff up, and you can mix all your wet stuff in there, but not put in the food colouring. Then once you've mixed it all up, you've got our powder, it's just going to be white. You can split it up into smaller containers, and then once you put it in the smaller containers, put a couple of drops of different colours in there, mix that up, and you're going to have, you know, a whole bunch of different colours. But then what you can do is you can grab a handful out of each one and put it into your mold, and then you're going to have different layers. You can have rainbows, you can have anything. You could do purple and red and green, and then you put some sparkles or glitter in there. It'll be like galaxy sort of craziness going on. So I definitely recommend experimenting with different colors, because yeah, it'll make it very, very impressive, that's for sure.
Oh, well, thank you, Alex. That was wonderful.
No worries.
I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. I can't wait to go home and make those for my wife. She's going to love that.
I think you're going to go make them for yourself.
Music, and yeah, that's for myself as well.
So I made them for myself.
Do we have any more questions before we go? I think that's it. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. That was great.
Do we like need to put it in the fridge or anything, or do we just leave it?
So you don't need to put it in the fridge. So put it anywhere that's not going to get wet. So you don't want it to get more wet. So it's already got the moisture in it. Well, you need to get the moisture out of it. So the fridge is going to get it, you know, moist and stuff like that. Put it somewhere preferably slightly warm. You don't need to bake it or anything like that, but it won't go off. There's nothing, you know, it's nothing edible in there that's gonna go funky or anything like that. So yeah, just put it somewhere warm.
Near the window?
Near the window, near the wall, all of those are fine. Sort of near a heater can be good, but don't put it on the heater. But just, yeah, somewhere just a little bit warm. As you said, next to a window might be a good one. If it's got some good sunlight on it, it'll help, you know, draw the moisture out of it.
Unless it's raining.
Unless it's raining, because then it'll get condensation on the inside of the window and it'll be kind of cold. So just try and pick somewhere sort of warm. I'd probably leave mine in the kitchen on the bench, or you know, on the dining room table or something like that. Just keep it away from, you know, where your pets can't get to it. If it's if you've got a cat or a dog or anything like that, just make sure they don't eat it, because it's got some funky stuff in there that probably wouldn't be good for dogs and cats to eat.
Right. Thanks, Alex.
Cool.
That was great. I'm ready for my bath.
Oh. Well, we had Chris on the line before and coming live from the bath, but we're having some technical issues getting onto him. So we're shouting out to Chris over there in the bath.
Yep, great. Shout out to Chris. Thanks, guys. Well, we might try running another event next week. We'd love it if you could join us. There'll be information on the website. And next week is Science Week, so we're looking at perhaps running a science-based activity online. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep an eye on the website. Alex will send out the ingredients and instructions as well. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Keep well and hope to see you soon.
Awesome. Take care. It's good to see you all.